Hi everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is a piece of tissue paper that came from Altenew, and when I had my products come in the mail, it was wrapped in this beautiful black and gold tissue paper, and I just thought to myself, this is inspiring. I need to use this, not throw it away, and so today we're going to make a card with it. So I am hoping that you're going to like this and that you'll try it. I'm sure it will work with other tissue paper. I have another video that I did on using tissue paper with 3D folders, so I will put a link to that down below and also up here on the screen when I edit. And I hope that you will decide to subscribe to my channel and click the little bell so you'll get informed of all of my new videos, because I'm really appreciative of you and I really want to try to inspire you to make more cards and think creatively. So let's get started. Okay, the first step to this card is to take a piece of black cardstock. This is 5.5 by 8.5, and I'm going to put a piece of Altenew double-sided adhesive sheet on there. And the first thing is to get this backing off of here, which sometimes I have trouble with. See if that worked. It did work. Yay! Okay, I'm going to take the release paper off, and then I'm just going to go ahead and put this right here on the edge of this paper and just gently roll it onto the paper, just like that. Then I'm going to use my bone folder and press it down and make sure that it's stuck really well on both sides. Okay, now I have my piece of tissue paper that I cut out. It has a few little wrinkles in it, but when I have tried my samples, the wrinkles did not have a problem, so let's hope that that works for this one too. The first thing is I'm going to try to get this separated again from the backing. See if I'm doing that. No, let's try this other corner. I don't know if you guys have problems with this stuff, but somehow when I want it to work, it never seems to work right the way I want it to. So I'm going to fold this back just a little bit here. And I'm going to place this like this and get my bone folder out, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this. I'm going to roll up the tissue a little bit so it's easier to handle. Then, just like we just did, I'm going to put this edge right down here on the sticky side. It doesn't have to be right on the edge because we have extra. But then I'm going to really glue it down here with my fingers till it's smooth on that sticky glue. And now what we're going to do is use our bone folder on this side right up against that edge. And the way to do this is to go very slow and to gradually pull with your right hand, or if you're left-handed, with your left hand, and use your other hand to push the bone folder down at the same time and push the tissue paper onto the sticky surface. So you want to just get even pressure all the way along, doing them both at once. It's really not that hard to do. Let's check and see how it's going. Well, it's going pretty well here. I've got a few wrinkles here. I'm going to smooth those out. Okay. Now let's keep going. Try to press down on your bone folder while you're doing it so it actually presses it into the adhesive. It may take you a couple attempts to get it to go down smoothly, but you can do it, because I have done 3 of these now, and 2 of the 3 turned out great. Now this one, since I'm doing it on camera, you know how that is. It sometimes messes up right when you want it to be the best. but I'm telling you it does work, and it will look great when you're done. So you just do it the whole way. Now I have some wrinkles in this one, and I'm just going to rub them with my bone folder until they go out. Just press them out. I always say when I'm doing this kind of thing that I'm old enough to remember hanging wallpaper, and we used to have, wallpaper used to be really in, and we used to have these little rollers that we would roll air bubbles out with, and a bone folder is just a different way of doing that. So this is looking really good. And the next step, now that we have this adhered, is to trim this down to be our front card panel. And the front card panel is going to measure 3 3/4 by 5 inches. Now, because I've already done them, I already did cut one down to that, and here's my sample of that. And you can see by the time you cut it down and everything and get it smoothed out, it's very smooth and shiny, and there's your tissue paper on your black cardstock, ready to be a card panel. So that was pretty easy, wasn't it? All you need is a little practice, and these pieces that come in your packaging are so big that you have lots to practice with, and it would work on any other tissue paper too, I'm sure. But look how pretty that is with the black and the gold. It's very elegant looking. So now we're going to put this aside and do the next step. When I saw that tissue paper, I thought it's perfect for some gold flowers. So today we're going to use the Build a Garden Dear Dahlias set, which is brand new. And the Build a Gardens come with several pieces, and so this comes with a stamp set and some coloring stencils, and also this die set, which actually has a die to cut out the entire stamp, but it also has all these separate little dies over here that make a flower. And I decided that I was going to cut these dies out of gold cardstock, and let me show you what I'm using. I'm using the Altenew brushed gold metallic cardstock. So it's not the mirror gold. There's a little bit of a more polished, duller look on it, and so it's perfect for this. And so what I did was I already have it put together over here. I have a half sheet, and I've got all those little dies already on this, ready to die cut out, which I'm going to do off camera because it's noisy. And I just wanted to mention this tape for you for a minute. I've been talking about it on all of my videos because I found that it's actually Scotch removable tape, just like Scotch tape, and it's a different not the right word, brand isn't the right word. You know, they've got all these different kinds of Scotch tape, and this is their removable tape. It comes in a blue box, and you can get it on Amazon. And I have found that it works just as well, if not better, than any tape I've ever tried for die cutting and not sticking to your paper, not ripping your paper. You can reuse it more than one time, and it's quite inexpensive compared to buying craft tape. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. I'll have a link to it down below in the supplies in case you want to try it out from Amazon. But I'm really loving it, and I wanted to pass that tip along. So I'm going to go ahead and die cut 2 sets of the flowers, plus I'm going to use a congrats sentiment, and it's going to also be out of this gold cardstock. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut all that out at once, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I finished die cutting everything, and here are all my pieces right here, all my flower petals. And I wanted to show you something here that Altenew is doing now. If I show you this piece, I'd want to try to keep it in focus. Can you see right here it says the number 3? I'm not sure if you can see that on the gold or not. But now all of their layering dies like this are labeled with numbers, so it makes it so easy to put them together, and that's something new just with the last few releases. So anyway, what I'm going to do now is something a little bit different. I'm going to demonstrate it for you, but then I'm going to do most of it off camera because it's going to take me a little while to make it happen, and once you know how to do it, you don't really have to watch me anymore. Here I have my stamping pad from my Misty, the back side of it that's like a mouse pad kind of, and I have my little ball. What do you call this? I don't know. It's a ball tool. I have several of them, all different sizes. And what I want to do is when I want to put these flowers together, instead of having them just be flat like this, I want them to be raised a little like this. So the way you do that is you turn it upside down onto like a computer mouse pad, or like I said, this is from my Misty, and you just take the ball and you rub it on the back side. Now it will do it gradually, and you don't want to make a big crease in it, so you just want to keep rubbing it until it has the amount of, can you see how that made that little individual petal kind of curve versus this one that's flat? And that's what we're looking for. We're looking to curve these petals. Can you see how it went up in the air there and it's curved? I had done this one previously, and here you can see how all of them kind of curve up. It's subtle, but it's definitely making them have some dimension versus just being flat. It's super easy to do, but to do all these is going to take me a little while, so I'm going to go ahead and go off camera and do it and come back when they're all finished. But I think you can see versus flat how these have some dimension to them and they're kind of curved, and that's exactly what I want. So I'm going to go and do all this now, and I'll be back in just a little bit. Okay, I'm back, and I have all of these done and all lined up. And what I did was I put them in numerical order so it would be easier to glue together. So number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the two little top pieces for both flowers. So now I'm just going to go ahead and glue them together, and I wanted to show you one more thing up close. And that is, can you see, I'm trying to keep it in focus here, this little hole right here. It's like a little like a keyhole shape. And when you're putting these together and layering them, all you have to do is, no confusion, just put those keyholes right on top of each other and it will be fine. So it will line up exactly right. I'm going to use a piece of my release paper from earlier so that I don't get the glue on my mat, and I'm just going to start gluing these together. This is number 1. And I'm going to put number 2 right on top of it with the keyhole lining up exactly the right place, the right direction, just like that. If I can get my fingers to cooperate. There we go. Okay, can you see how these are a little bit bent? That's what I was wanting these petals to have some shape this way. Okay, so now we're going to do number 3. It's really easy now that they put these keyholes on here and also put the numbers on. You don't have to be wondering what direction anything goes. So make sure I've lined that up correctly. Yep, a little bit too much glue there. I'm going to go ahead and get my little towel and make sure I wipe up the excess. There we go. There we go. Just hold that for a minute while it dries. Here's number 4, and it's going to go on just this way right here. I'm not going to put as much glue on this time. Just a little bit around there. See if I can get it on straight. It doesn't help that the last couple of years my hands have started shaking. It's just getting older, I think, but it's becoming a pain in the neck. There we go. Look at how pretty that's looking already. Can you see that? It's all layered, and see how the petals go down instead of flat? That's the exact shaping I was looking for, and it was super easy to do. Super easy. Put a little bit of glue around here for number 5. And see which direction that goes, and it goes this way. Just like that. Hold it down there for a minute. And since it's just glued in the middle, you can kind of separate these petals out and make them stand out even more. Okay, that's number 5. We just have number 6 to go, and then a couple little pieces on the top. And then I'm going to do the second one off camera, since you don't need to be watching me glue 2 flowers together. And then we're just going to put everything together. Just going to hold that there. Hold it in the center. This gold paper is so pretty. This is actually the first time I've used it. I've used the shiny gold many times, but I haven't ever used this more brushed gold. I've kind of taken the summer off from doing too many cards, and this came out while I was taking my time off, and boy, it's really pretty. It's subtle. It's not quite so shiny. It just looks kind of like brushed metal. Of course, this will be also linked down below where you can order it if you're interested. I thought it would be the perfect accompaniment to the black and gold tissue paper. I love this gold dahlia. It's turning out really pretty. Okay. Just putting that on the top. And we'll let it dry, and then I'm going to make the other one off camera. And when it's dry, I'm going to be back, and we'll put the card together. Okay, I am back. I have finished gluing both of these flowers together, and can you see how the petals go down instead of flat? I really like the way that turned out, and so easy to do. Okay, our steps that we've done so far are adhere the tissue paper to a piece of black cardstock. That was number 1, and I showed you how to do that with your bone folder and your hand pulling it back. You may need to practice a little, but it will work for you if you're patient. Then the next step was to die cut the flowers out, and then we glued them together, and we had the numbers and the little keyholes to assist us with that. Now we're going to glue these down. In fact, I think what I'm going to do is put this onto our gold cardstock first. Look at this. Isn't that going to look elegant? I cut a piece of the brushed gold that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, your A2 size. And I'm just going to attach that. Normally I would put it on with foam tape, but today, because the flowers have so much dimension, I'm just going to use regular double-sided tape to do that. Let me get it out here, and we'll do that. I'm really liking this card. I think it would be such an elegant, well, you could use it black and gold, you know, you could use for a New Year's card actually, couldn't you? That's really popular. Anything formal. I was thinking kind of a golden anniversary card, or who knows, and you don't have to do it out of black and gold. You can use any tissue paper you want and any other heavy cardstock that you want. Do the same curling of the flowers and make it a floral card, just a spring card or something like that. I just fell in love with that black and gold tissue that came in my Altenew box, and I was just inspired to do something with it, and this is what happened. Okay, so we're just going to take this off here and put it on. If I don't knock everything over on my desk first. I can't believe it, here in Alaska, some of our plants are already starting to turn for fall. Not too many of them, the trees haven't. Well, my maple tree has. And it's only, as I make this won't be put out until, I don't think this is published until October, but as I'm making this, it is August 7th today. And can you believe it? We're already doing fall up here. Okay, so there is our card base. Now I'm going to put these dahlias on with some foam tape, and this is the other thing that's going on in August for me, is I am trying to get my card room completely renovated, and in the middle of that process, because I haven't been able to do it from start to finish all at once, everything is in piles everywhere, and I couldn't find my Altenew foam tape, so I had to resort to my old foam tape, which is Scotch brand, but I'm really liking the Altenew since they came out with it. Okay, I put this one on with one layer of foam tape, and it does fold down, but I think on this one I'm going to put it on with 2 layers of foam tape. Because I really do want to have that dimension on here. That's what we curved the petals, not leaves, the petals for. So we want to get all the dimension we can get out of it, so I'm going to put 2 layers of foam tape on here. I'm going to go ahead and take that off and tape this one right on top of it. And then we're going to attach it, so it's going to have lots of dimension and lots of curve on this one. Just like that. Oh, can you see how that curves? Oh, I really like that. And it goes so well with the gold on the black tissue. Now the only thing we have left to do is our sentiment. And I cut out of the congrats sentiment, thinking of that 50th anniversary. Oops, these kind of got all put together, didn't they? I cut 3 of the black out of black and 1 out of gold. So I'm going to go ahead and do this real quickly and glue these together. My last video that I made that's also coming out in October, I did a voiceover because I kind of messed up my recording of my voice when I was doing it like this. And I did a voiceover and it worked out fine, but my husband said, you know, that's just not you. I don't care if everybody else does it that way. You have people who like you being you, so you need to just be you. Oh, I hope he was right. If not, let me know, because I can go back to doing voiceovers and be like everybody else. It's not that I can't do it, but a lot of you have commented you like me being me, so I'm attempting to keep up being myself. But I would appreciate your comments down below one way or another, so I can decide the me I'm going to be officially here, right? Okay. Well, of course I added those layers of cardstock here to add dimension onto that sentiment. Oh my goodness, I'm really liking this now. Let us glue that on, and then I have a couple of embellishments to put on and we will be done. Okay, I'm just going to put that on just like that. And I have stamping. Oops, don't want to put it on top of my flowers. There we go. And the only other thing we're going to do is I have some of the Altenew gold satin sequins here, and I thought a few of those might be good. They're also not a shiny gold. They do have shiny gold sequins, but these are not shiny. So I thought that they might go really well with this. Just a few. Another really easy card. It's a little time consuming in gluing all the flowers together and everything, but in terms of complicated techniques or anything, this card is not that way. And yet look at how pretty it turned out. Look at the dimension on those dahlias, the way that they are up off the card. And like I said, you could do this with any tissue paper, I'm sure, and any colors. I just fell in love with this gold and black, so I want to do that. But think about with different pastels and a pastel floral tissue paper with some kind of cream colored cardstock or something. This would look beautiful just like that. But as it is, it looks just elegant. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you like this card. I hope you will try it out in your own version and make it your own. And please make a comment down below. I read every one of them. They're very important to me. Subscribe to my channel. I would love that as well. Join my Facebook group, which is just a community of wonderful people. I'll have all those links down below. And thank you so much for being with me today, and I'll see you next time.